If Bitcoin will push the price down towards closure of the CME Futures Gap, $1.5 billion will be liquidated. What are the probabilities of this move happening? I'll reveal to you in this video. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Simon from Crypto Paradise. So in the previous video, one day ago, I shared with you that with the highest probability, Bitcoin, after we have created this fifth truncated wave, will move to the downside. As you can see, so far we have dropped by around 3% with ParadiseTeam VIPs. We have exploited this opportunity and opened some short positions, some short-term positions, for example on Ethereum right here for 118% profit. But the most important question right now stays, what's gonna happen next? So was this enough, or we are about to keep going to the downside? For that to say with the highest probability possible, we need to firstly properly analyze Bitcoin, and we will start as always first by understanding the higher time frame picture. So right now we are looking at ultra high time frame analysis, and what we can clearly see is that Bitcoin is retesting our weekly time frame moving average, which supported our bullish trend from the year 2023 until recently, when we predicted that we will go to the downside, and when I told you that the bull trend that started from $19,500 is finished. So as you can see, we are retesting that moving average trend line, and after we have broken below it, the function of its purpose changed from working as a support into working as a resistance, and it is going to be one tough of a resistance, ladies and gentlemen. So right now it's important to watch the price action closely to be able to understand if there will be enough strength to retest that $93,000 before moving down towards $44,000. As you know from the beginning, basically since January, we have the most important two levels in mind, and that is the $77,000 that already hit and then $44,000, and in between there is going to be a correction towards $93,000. That's what I have told you in January, and that still stays. I do still believe that there will be enough power to retest that $93,000, firstly because the oscillators we are looking at, for example stochastic RSI and others, suggest so. So stochastic RSI clearly in oversold zone, so it would really benefit from wicking above this moving average trend line and retest this $93,000 before moving to the downside. After that, classic RSI, you can see the bearish divergence. That was another confirmation from us that helped us to understand that right here at $109,000 is the top of that 3-year long of an uptrend. As you can see, the RSI created a lower high but the price action a higher high. That is a classic example of a strong bearish divergence, ladies and gentlemen. And what we can clearly see right now is that after we have broken the moving average trend line right here to the downside, we yet didn't have any retest. Okay, we are in the middle of the range right now, and I believe before continuation lower that will perfectly synergize with the move down towards $44,000. With that, I believe we will get oversold in RSI index. We will have a retest of this moving average trend line and then continue to keep going down. So this retest could actually very nicely confluence with the retest of $93,000. So that's another reason why I believe there will be enough power to retest that $93,000 before continuation towards $44,000. On MACD, we can see this bearish cross that we have been talking about in the previous videos many times, but what is important to understand is that right now on the histogram we can see that this candle is beginning to weaken. We still have 3 days, 8 hours to go. However, I do believe that something similar of what happened right here in 15th of July can repeat, and it can actually confluence very nicely with the retest of that moving average trend line. As you can see, after we have weakened on 2 candles, we have began the bearish trend again. Of course, this was a fourth wave of an impulse, so it was a horizontal correction. This is going to be a zigzag deep correction, so the dynamics of the continuation will be completely different, and I believe we will be able to go towards that $44,000. After that $44,000, you already know from the previous videos what I do expect to happen next. First of all, you need to understand, if you are not that familiar with Elliott wave theory, that we have completed this impulse that subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves. We have finished that with the ending diagonal, and right now we are starting the ABC corrective mode. Yeah, so on our website mycryptoparadise.com we actually have for you prepared a free educational materials, so you can learn that from the professional traders easily as well. So after that impulse we are about to have ABC correction, ladies and gentlemen, and I do believe right now that we have completed the A wave and we are starting the B wave. Okay, so if the A wave was finished right there at that $77,000, the B wave I believe started already, and it will take us towards retesting this previously support, now will be acting as a resistance before the C wave that will take us towards $44,000. After that correction is done, we will start a third grand super cycle wave towards $240,000, ladies and gentlemen, but about that we will be talking in the future videos. Right now let's zoom in into the price action that is forming the B wave of the zigzag. So you can see first of all on this MACD indicator that the momentum is building up enormously. It is actually at the same highs we have been right here in January before the big crash started, ladies and gentlemen, and together with that we are also creating a huge bearish divergence. By looking at the volume, what we can see very clearly is that we are forming one very interesting trend. After the breakout of this upper trend line, we have a surge in a volume and then a decline on a bearish correction. As you can see, the same happened right here. On an upside movement we have a spike in a volume, and on the correction we have decline in volume. So if we will continue in this trend, I believe that the momentum will take us towards retesting that $93,000 before continuation down towards $44,000, Paradisers. Let's quickly go through the Elliott wave theory and the waves count right now to understand better what is going to happen next with the highest probability. So as you understand, we have finished after the ending diagonal that finished the bullish impulse from $19,500. We have started another impulse that had truncated fifth wave right here. Right now we can say it for sure that it was fifth truncated wave, because we can clearly see after breaking above this downtrend trend line we are forming a new trend, and this smaller trend is actually the A wave of the higher degree B wave, and I will explain to you what I mean by that after I clear this from here so you can see it properly. So basically I believe we have finished the first wave of N zigzag, and right now we are creating the B wave. Okay, and this B wave subdivides itself into 3 smaller waves, and actually the first wave is in a motive mode, the second in a corrective mode, and the final third wave is also being formed by a motive mode. What that means is that this first A wave can be an impulse or a leading diagonal. Okay, and I do believe that we are forming it in a leading diagonal form, because as you know from the previous videos we have been able to clearly count the waves. So after the fifth truncated wave we have created a first wave, second wave, third wave, and right now we are finishing the fourth wave. Okay, and we are about to have a fifth wave, but right now the question is from where? Did we finish the fourth wave already, or we need to go a little bit lower before starting the fifth wave? For that we need to zoom in into this price action and determine what's gonna happen next with as high probability as possible. So here we finished the fifth truncated wave, right? And after that we have started a first impulsive bullish wave, then second right here in a corrective mode, third that finished right here as truncated, and right now we are in a creation of a fourth wave. All right, and then we will have a fifth wave. This fourth wave can be finished either here. However, there is also a possibility that we might go lower to fill that CME Futures Gap, and then we will have the fifth wave. Either way, I believe if we are about to break from this descending trend line, or firstly if we go lower and then from the final fifth wave, in both of the scenarios we'll end up at around $91,000, which is this Fibonacci retracement 1.618 level, and by that we will right here finish the A wave of the zigzag. All right, I'm talking about this one. Then we will start the corrective mode wave that will probably take us back towards retesting this moving average trend line in some corrective mode pattern, probably zigzag again, and then we will start the final impulsive motive mode C wave that will take us, in my opinion, towards $93,000, and then we will retrace down towards that $44,000. So to conclude this, right now I believe that the fourth corrective wave is being formed by an expanded triangle, okay? Fourth waves of an impulse, or indeed a leading diagonal, are very commonly formed by an expanded triangle or contracting triangle. So expanded triangle consists of 5 smaller waves, and if we calculate it after a truncated fifth right here, we can see that we are actually about to finish the fifth wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is a probability that the 5 was already finished. We then will take a look closer into lower time frame to see where the wick exactly closed, but it is floating right here, which is not that common. So with the higher probability, we will continue the fifth wave a bit lower to retest this descending trend line, okay, retest this $84,500, ladies and gentlemen. That will also fill the CME Futures Gap, and that will finish the fourth wave, and then we will continue in the fifth wave that will take us towards $91,000. So in my opinion, if we are not able to go above this high, above this descending trend line, we are counting with $85,000 or slightly below that, and then continuing to the upside. So to understand, very important thing is that right now we are in the final fifth wave, so it is very important to monitor the price action very closely, ladies and gentlemen. This is very important right now. So let's zoom in into this price action towards low time frame analysis, ladies and gentlemen. And before we start to analyze the price action on this level, let's take a look at our social index that you can find on our website and monitor with me on mycryptoparadise.com. And we can see that we are creating a double top at that 60 points right here that worked as a top in the previous month, basically every time, and we are about to complete the cycle because we are in this trend that I have been explaining to you in the previous video 4 days ago. So if you have watched the video, if you are subscribed here, you know that we will need to complete the cycle by going down towards these red numbers, and we are still not there. So that actually increases the probabilities that we will need to go lower a little bit before going higher. We will talk about how lower we will need to go in a minute. We can also go a little bit lower. We can wick out lower towards $82,500, ladies and gentlemen, and I will explain to you why. So right now, let's take a look at our liquidation heat map, and we can see that there's loads of liquidity below us at around $82,500. You can see how shiny it brights, loads of stop losses, loads of liquidation levels are positioned right here. So I do believe if we will start moving to the downside, we can actually have some kind of type of this wick out towards $85,000 just to get rid of some over leveraged long positions, and then we will have much smoother ride to the upside, ladies and gentlemen. So it is really important that once you start positioning yourself into a long position, once there is gonna be some kind of opportunity, if we go towards these levels and after confirmations, you will see that it's high probability that we will start reversing to the upside. What's most important is also a position of your stop loss. So it's not just about the entry, it's also about the stop loss. So because we understand that there is a possibility of a wick out towards $82,500, it's not a bad idea to have a positioned stop loss that is actually safe from the volatility, right? So below most important Fibonacci retracement levels, below the previous local low, that's a great stop loss, right? And then you know that even though you have this kind of stop loss, you have a beautiful entry and you have a also nice risk to reward trade because you can position your exit targets much higher because you understand what's gonna happen next, what kind of movements you can expect, right? So as you can see right now on the low time frame, this is much better visible. We can see clearly that we are trading in that expanded triangle, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, we are forming the fifth wave. As I show you one more time, after the fifth truncated wave that finished right here, we got A, B, C, D, and right now we are starting the E wave that will continue as long as we are not above this previous high. Okay, so after we are above this high, it will mean that there is going to be the continuation towards $91,000, ladies and gentlemen. Until then, I am counting with a correction towards these levels, okay, around $84,500 to fill the CME Futures Gap, with the possibility of wicking below $82,500, ladies and gentlemen. So proper position of stop loss is important, and definitely with ParadiseTeam VIP, so you will not be entering any longs without a proper whales confirmation, etc. On ultra low time frame, it's very nicely visible. Right here you can see that if we are reclaiming this previous high, it will mean that we have finished this fifth wave, this E wave of the triangle, and we will start moving higher. So right now this is working as a resistance, ladies and gentlemen, and I will keep you updated about this in the next video on Saturday. And also today is a giveaway Thursday, and for today's giveaway, where you can win MCP News private access, where we are sharing an insider news, and you can basically, thanks to that insider information, increase your probability in trading. So one of you will win the exclusive seat inside of MCP News private membership, and you just need to answer the giveaway question that I'm about to give you. You need to like 2 other comments that also answered on that giveaway question. Like this video, subscribe, share this video on your social media, and if your comment will get most of the likes, you will win the seat. We are always announcing the giveaway results on Telegram in our MCP stream channel, and we announce it next week on Tuesday. And the giveaway question is, do you adjust your trading strategy based on market cycles? Why or why not? So I'm really interested in your comments. I'll read all of your comments, you know that. And until then, trade safe, trade smart, and I will see you again on Saturday. Cheers.